everybody. This is Heidi.
Amanda.
And Anne. And you're listening to Charlotte Mason in the City,
The podcast that discusses how we bring Charlotte Mason's living principles to the people of the city, both young and old.
and also how our families and others that we connect with practice Charlotte Mason in the City.
We hope you enjoy our podcast today.
Hey everybody, we are here with Charlotte Mason in the City, and it's just fresh 2026, and I am so excited to introduce you to two new members for my podcast. These are my friends Anne and Amanda, and they live nearby me, and we have been homeschooling and using Charlotte Mason and her principles and methods for quite a long time, all three of us. And rather than me continuing this podcast all alone, I thought it would be so much more exciting and enjoyable for you listeners and also for us to do this project together. And so we're going to just spend the next few episodes introducing ourselves and helping you all get to know a little bit more about us. And so today, for our first intro, we're going to interview Amanda and let her tell you a little bit about herself. So let's get started.
Yeah, so Amanda, it would be wonderful if we could hear a little bit about your family story. Could you tell us something about your family?
Sure. Well, first of all, I'll just say I'm so thrilled to be on the Charlotte Mason in the City team with you gals. And thank you, Heidi, for opening up this opportunity for us, because I think for me anyway, Charlotte Mason has been, kind of a lifelong theme since I started homeschooling 20 years ago, really, when I picked up the pink volumes that I saw in the library and started reading them all by myself. I've been kind of on this Charlotte Mason journey, and sometimes our paths intersected, Heidi especially, our paths intersected from time to time doing co-ops or classes or whatever. But we weren't ever able to make something of it because we were busy homeschooling our kids, and so this is our first time that we've gotten to work together like this. And then it's such a treat that you were able to pull Anne in, because I think, Heidi, you have a lot of connections in the city. So it's kind of fun to be part of that. So all that to say, fun to be part of this team. And so what was the question you asked me about my family, right? You really want to hear about my family? Okay.
Yeah, just introduce your family.
Okay, so I am married to Michael. We've been married for 22 years, coming up on 22 years. So thank the Lord for that, right? Like that right there is a miracle. We've been able to stay married through this whole journey. And oddly, it's really kind of interesting. He's a New Yorker. He was born in New York and grew up in New York City. And I, small town girl, grew up in Northeast Iowa. So his city, millions of people, right? Mine, like we didn't even have a stoplight. So for fun, we would just, on a Saturday night, we would just walk the streets of my little town right down the middle of the street. And that would be fine because there was no traffic. And you really have to be creative to find some fun times in a small town. But I'm really grateful for my small town upbringing. But of course, there have been many culture clashes in our marriage because of that difference. So we've gotten to navigate that through these years. So married Michael, and we have 4 daughters. So my oldest is 21, and she's in college. She's an art major. And then my second one is 19, and she's also pursuing some higher education at the community college. And she's living at home. So she's kind of coming in and out. So I've got 2 that are, kind of launching into the world. And then I'm actively homeschooling the 2 younger ones. So I have a 16-year-old and an almost 12-year-old, and all girls. So we got a lot of estrogen in our house, a lot of all of us are very artistic and creative. So there's a lot of feelings and a lot of emotion. And so that's kind of, and they're very quiet. So it's kind of the feel of our house. We love to draw and paint and do all kinds of artistic things. So that's us.
And just, you want to briefly share how long you've been homeschooling?
I've been homeschooling since the very beginning. Actually, I'm glad you asked me that because I was gonna mention this little nugget of a story that, my husband and I are from two different, really, I mean, two different cultures, really. And when we were dating, I knew then that I wanted to homeschool my kids, which is so weird. I told him, look, if we get married and we have kids, I think I want to homeschool them. Because at that time I was an education major, which is also like, what are you doing? Like you're training to be a teacher, but you don't really want to put your kids in school. That's odd, right? That was kind of my MO. And I had gotten my hands on, sorry, that was my alarm for talking. I had gotten my hands on a John Taylor Gatto book, and he was talking about how he was a teacher and he didn't send his kids to school because at school they don't learn the true education, is kind of how he put it, where, like if you want to learn about math, for example, the way you can do that is you can plant a garden. And then, then there's all these math concepts that come into that, like how many seeds, what's the spacing, what's going to grow. So then now you're talking about botany. So you're doing science class. And then now you're doing physical activity because you're outside tending the garden. And it's all authentic learning, but none of it is happening inside of a classroom. And that really inspired me at the time. I was like, yeah, what are all those people doing outside when I'm looking outside my classroom window of, sitting in a classroom and I'm seeing these people on the sidewalk? I'm like, what are they doing? I remember thinking that as a kid, like they're living their lives and they're doing their thing and there's no school involved. Why can't we do that? So I don't know, that idea really resonated with me, and he didn't say I was crazy. So that's how I started. I knew that I was going to homeschool, but I didn't know anything about Charlotte Mason. I just knew that I wanted to homeschool my kids. So we've done it from the beginning and we've done it all the way through.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing. I think that we'll do another series where we can all three share about how we learned about Charlotte Mason, and that'll be coming up soon after we share a bit about our families. But we're so glad to get to know you better, and we look forward to hearing about Anne and then myself in the next few episodes after this. So have a great day, you guys, and we will hope that all of our listeners enjoy your day as well. We hope you enjoyed our podcast today. I just wanted to tell you about a few resources that we have. I have a Miss Mason's Music website about Charlotte Mason and Solfa, and that's at missmasonsmusic.com. And Ann Butler has a Bible study resource, and she has a blog, and you can find that over at tablelearningresources.com. And you can follow all of us on Instagram and Facebook. We also have a new channel on YouTube where you can watch our podcast there and other content that we're creating. So we hope you'll follow us and enjoy listening to the podcast in the future. Thanks so much.